My name is Stephen Boehm, and I am a graduating fourth year at Northeastern studying business administration with a concentration in accounting and minors in data science and computational social science. During my time at Northeastern, I was able to complete two co ops. My first co op was at Baker Newman Noyes, a public accounting firm, on their corporate tax team, and my second co op was at Wellington Management on the global tax services team. My first co-op definitely taught me a lot about the different fields that go on inside of tax, taught me a lot about what working at a public accounting firm looks like, and definitely helped inform my decisions about what I wanted to continue to study and pursue in the future. I fell in love with tax during that co-op, and knew that I wanted it to be a part of my second co-op in some way, but that I wanted to see it in a little bit different of a setting. So I decided to work at Wellington in the finance industry and see the internal side of tax. This co-op was a really awesome experience for me because I actually got to leverage a lot of my tech background and my data science minor through that co-op. I worked on a lot of really different, exciting projects that I didn't expect to work on, building a lot of different infrastructure, dashboards, platforms, and other things that helped automate processes and help make everything run more efficiently. So that was a lot of fun and definitely really, really invigorated my passion for tech. So that kind of shifted things a little bit for me, knowing that I wanted to work a little bit more in the tech space. Some of my key learnings from both of these co-ops were, like I mentioned, understanding the tax field. My second co-op working in the internal side in the finance industry helped me understand a lot more about finance, a lot more about what goes into the running of an investment firm. I think tax is a really great space to be in because you really do get to understand the overall business, understand what drives profits, where the money comes from, and where it goes. So I think that was a really great way to get exposure into the finance industry. I also learned a lot about project management and overseeing a process. A lot of the projects I was working on, I was entirely responsible for by myself. So it taught me a lot about how to prioritize things, how to manage my time, and how to keep checking in with people and letting them know what my progress was. But overall, really great experiences from both of my co ops. I think the scariest moment on both of my co ops was definitely the beginning of them, just because you don't know what to expect. Especially with my first co op, I had never really worked in a super professional setting for a full time job before, so didn't really know what would go into that, how I would handle with the 9 to 5 lifestyle. But it's definitely something that you get used to, but just takes a little bit of adjusting time. And I think my proudest experience from co op was one of the projects I built in my second co op at Wellington. I built a travel tracker that they used at the firm to track the entire firm's employees' travel, to help understand if there's a tax implication of an employee working in a different state. This was something that had existed before I got there and then broke right around the time when I started. And it was left up to me to kind of rebuild this whole thing from the ground up. So I worked on the front end, I worked on the back end, I collaborated with the IT teams. So I think that was really fun being in charge of the project as a whole and also being responsible for communicating between the IT side of the business and the tax and payroll sides of the business. It was definitely something I didn't expect to do, but I think taught me a lot about how to manage different teams, especially ones that don't really understand each other that well, and really working as a liaison in that aspect. So I would say that was probably the proudest experience of my co-op was after we launched that, saw the first month of it running, and saw that we had no issues. It was definitely a big moment of celebration for everyone that was on the project. I think my time at DMSB definitely set me up really well for my co ops and then for beyond. I think we do a really awesome job at helping students understand not just how to find a job, but also what to do while you're working on that job. I think it's a big adjustment period that a lot of students don't really know what to expect during, but I think we do a really great job at getting you the skills and the preparation that you need to really be an adult in your professional field, whatever that might be. I think we also do a really awesome job in all of our classes at focusing on what these things that we're learning would look like in the real world. I think that's really important because it's one thing to sit and look at a textbook or to do some guided examples, but it's another thing to really understand what that looks like in a more organic setting of how it would actually go. So I think DMSB did a really, really great job at preparing us for that. For others going on co-op, I think my biggest piece of advice is to really just be open-minded and learn everything you can, both with your search and during your co-ops. I think it's super important with your search to really be open-minded and just take a look at all of the options that are available to you. There are things that might surprise you that you wouldn't have normally looked at that you think might be perfect for you, and that might have been something that you had originally discounted. And I also think just really make sure you're learning everything. That's entirely what co-op is a learning experience and make sure you're learning both the actual real technical skills from your job, but that you're also learning about some of the more organic things that you wouldn't be able to learn in a classroom, like if you actually like what you're doing, what you want your future career to look like, and other things like that. That definitely shaped me a lot during my time on co op and helped me figure out my post graduation path. After graduation, I'm going to be returning to Wellington to work on their investment technology team. So, this was definitely a big shift from the original accounting that I had been studying. But my time on my second co op there really helped me understand how much I'm passionate about tech and how much I want that to be a part of my future. So, I'm definitely super thankful for co op and for all of the resources that DMSB gave us because I don't think I would be on the right path for me if I didn't have those opportunities.